Testing, testing. All right. Is that working? I think we're good. Hello, hello. Doing all of my basic audio tests just to get things up and going. All right. So, Twitch is good to go. Hello, guys on Twitch. I am double checking my YouTube as well. Make sure we're broadcasting properly to both of the streaming services. Right now, I'm just using some yeah, YouTube is good as well, it would seem. All right. Hello, everyone. Basic. Hey, guys. Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burgos Art. And welcome back to another Sunday night art stream. It's been a while. I've been busy lately, so I just haven't had a chance to actually sit down and stream, but I have been doing artwork. Lots of artwork that's not really good for stream, if that makes sense. There's no way to like set up a camera and a microphone and all that works with the much more bigger, complicated projects I've been working on. We are right now using Xmod Matt. That is the YouTube channel. It is Gaming Vibes 4 hours. That's the number 4. Gaming Vibe 4 hours. Because I've noticed that the music provided with the new setup for Streamlabs, its music that it provides sometimes gets flagged by like YouTube or even Twitch. So Streamlabs, which is built primarily for Twitch, gives you free music that gets flagged. So I'm using this this one YouTube channel. I used them before. I don't remember if it was completely clear, like completely clean of any like copyright music stuff. Give me a second. I'm sorry. My feet are bumping into something. Hold on. Oh, much better. There we go. So hopefully this particular soundtrack won't be an issue. But yeah, so we're back at it. News. What's in the news? What's in the art news? Because we all know what's in the news right now, especially here in the U.S. A lot of problems. So I just did yesterday was a one-day convention. Hey intern. Yesterday was a one-day convention I did. It was the 3rd year they've held it. It is the Bronx Anime and Comic Convention. It was pretty much dead. Sadly, it was dead. Lots of really nice artists. They had entertainers there. They had like a live wrestling show, which is like the norm now for a lot of like Bronx and Brooklyn conventions, just to get local wrestlers to come in. But regretfully, the convention itself was very slow. I was hoping to be a bit stronger, so I did the convention and not much finance came from that. Hopefully, they'll build up steam in the future. So if you're looking for conventions in the Bronx, it's a small convention. It was nice, but it just didn't pull in a lot of people. On the plus side, I finally buckled down. Not buckled down. I finally buckled and broke down, and I bought myself. I forget the name. That's it. It's not Earthrise. War for Cybertron. I finally bought the newest Black Arachnia figurine. Came out like a year ago. So I now have a Black Arachnia, the new Black Arachnia, and the new Silverbolt figurines actually on a table in my in the next room over, and he actually is carrying her in his arms the way he did when they first met. And I bought the toy. It's a very fun toy. It is fun because it is like almost completely accurate, 100% to her 3D model robot form. The spider mode is more realistic to an actual Black Widow spider. very compact. My only critique of that figurine, if you're thinking of buying a Black Arachnia or the only real Black Arachnia that came out, it's very thin and finicky. Like, I'm afraid, like, if you have big brutish hands, you're gonna snap it in half. By the way, that noise you hear is my water bottle. It's very thin and finicky, but once you kind of like get the joints moving and get used to it, it's a nice figurine. So I finally went and bought one of those. I will be going to next week. I'm not attending as a vendor. I will be going to next week Long Island Retro Gaming. It's in Long Island. It's in the Cradle of Aviation Museum. I believe that's the name, Cradle of Aviation. Check it out. It is actually a very nice convention. They have tons of free games to play, lots of cool stuff to buy. It's a good balance of like merchandise and just having fun. You can play a lot of arcade games. They fill this entire museum with just consoles of all generations and CRT TVs just all over. It's like, I think it's like 2.5 floors worth of material among all this freaking airplanes and jets and stuff. Long Island Retro Gaming, check it out. It's very nice. I have done a table there a few times. The people who host it are very good people. They're very good to the vendors, at least. And it is a fun place to go to. So that's my thing for that. You might see myself walking around along with Red Spectra. Red Spectra, my friend Red Spectra, he's done Twitch stuff. He does retro video games. You might see us walking around. So maybe we'll bump into each other. And that's really it. Oh, hold on. Alright, so that's really it. What we are doing today is Dustly. As the title says, we are making sci-fi space tools. So if you've been following me recently on my live streams, I've been designing bugs. I've been doing these 3D models of bugs that I then turn into inverted molds of them. So I can put Play-Doh in it and make my bugs. So I've been making these alien bugs. This one is the praying mantis. I have a praying mantis. I have kind of standing on his hind legs, if that makes sense. Centipede that's kind of like standing upward like a snake. And we have other ones. So we have the bugs. These are the first prototype printing of these guys. So we have the bugs. The idea is to then take those prototypes, not the prototypes, takes the 3D models and assemble them into a nice clean sandwich mold, like a rectangular mold. And then part of that will be tools for this, like space tools, like a battery pack, a sci-fi wrench, which is what we're going to work on today, maybe a sci-fi blaster, that are also going to be turned into molds. We are slowly building up the 3D printed parts for it's going to be added to a hand sculpted big chunky astronaut toy. And here are his legs. So these are the legs I started designing for this big old astronaut toy. And his backpack is going to be all of these cool little Play-Doh accessory molds. His feet, which are hollow, are also going to be Play-Doh stamps. So he's an astronaut that comes with his own accessories. I am making a toy. It's a bit bigger than I originally intended. It's kind of like, it's kind of along the, it's going to be about that big. So you're talking, geez, man. Let's see. Give me a second. If that's 4 inches, maybe 8 inches. I think of like a big vinyl. So a big 8-inch toy, if that makes sense. But his backpack is going to allow you to make your own little aliens and your own little sci-fi tools that he could use. And you can combine the tools with the aliens, make them cyborgs. His feet are going to have Play-Dohs. His belly is probably going to be a gimmick as well. He's going to have a sword in his arm to slice the aliens in half. It is a toy that makes its own accessories. An action figure that makes its own accessories. That's kind of the idea behind it. Yes, the size is getting a bit larger than I wanted, but I do have, from a previous stream, that's the design. And I am sticking super close to that scale. So he's about 7 inches tall. Yeah, give or take. He's about, no, correction. This is 8 by 11. So he is about 8 inches tall. This is our astronaut. Right? So he's gonna be a big boy, made of a lightweight material. I mean, the prototype is a bit dense because it's hand sculpted clay. But in the end, it'll be like a vinyl light figure, like a big old chunky figure a kid could slam around, and then like his backpack just makes all these toys. And that's kind of the idea. And right now, like I said, we're gonna just do a few more designs, and we're gonna make a 3D sculpt. Let me make sure that's still being captured on the video. I'm just checking to make sure it's like you can see it rotate. Yeah, that's all good. All right. Let me switch around my audio for a minute. Okay. I don't know why every time I type in the chat on my secondary device, it always doubles the first letter. So if I type in test, it does TTST. Don't know why it does that. But I'm doing that. Good. Just make sure I can hear it. All right. So we are sticking with a certain scale for these. So this sci-fi wrench, from end to end, I want to roughly be 60 to 65 millimeters. Because as I said, as we've gone over before in previous streams, you know, you can lose track of scale if you're not very careful with these. We are using Sketchup, which is alright, 60. Okay. We are using Sketchup, which is what gives us our really good mathematical like measurements, but it also means that I'm limited to, you know, angular stuff. So one thing I want to do, let's see. Where's the center on this guy? Come on. If that's 16, the center would be 8. That'll also be 8. Boom, there we go. No, how I do? No. Let's go for just either side. So I can't do 5 by 5. If I do 4 by 4, that'll be 8. If I do 9 by 9, nope, that's not right. So I'm just gonna get a perfect square. Sorry, just debating on the size I want to make it. (16 by 12). That can't be right. Let's make it, yeah, square. Make it 8 by 8. That's our square. So I'm just adding a slight curve, if that makes sense. So for example, I'm going to push this back by 1. Right? Oh, we got some internal lines here that need to be erased. Who are you? Let me delete that. Yeah, there's some internal lines I gotta check out. Something's going on in there. for a minute. Let's make it 2. And yes, I need to crack this open, make sure there's no internal lines. And let's bring this up by, let's say, let's make it 3. There we go. Now, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I shall show you. Was there other ways to do it? Probably. I'm just making sure. I'm just sticking close to my mathematics at the moment. Check this out. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to also delete that. While we're here, let me look inside. Oh, there are some shenanigans I gotta fix. You know, you want to get rid of all that unneeded internal geometry that's going to screw it up later on when you go to actually like 3D print and stuff. Just want to give it a kind of sharp, rounded end. There we go. Alright, so this is now 63 millimeters, and I don't want to go any wider than that. I'm trying to keep these, I don't know if you can see, this really rough sketch. I did a box in which will be essentially the width from belt end to belt end, right? So these tools are gonna sit within the figurine. This sandwich mode is gonna be in the figurine halfway. So I have a box for them, and then the alien box is slightly wider behind that. Essentially, I'm just making sure I'm designing these tools. There's gonna be a handful of tools that can be rearranged like in a Tetris format to fit a perfect rectangle that could then be sculpted around to make the rest of the body. That is the idea. We hope. Now it's just a matter of making them look interesting. Let's get rid of that. Okay, where's the middle of you? Okay, I want to do a half circle. Where's my circle tool? Circle. See, why didn't you show up when I first pressed you? There we go. Let me just check this, because I did. Yep, there it is. Delete that. So doing kind of like what's it called? Monkey wrench. Nothing too crazy, just a basic shape, because it's going to be done in Play-Doh. So if it's too thin, it'll wobble around. So like this is. I'm also making sure to make these particular sculptures thinner than the aliens. The aliens were an inch, and these are just. The aliens were roughly an inch, and these are under an inch. These are going to be, if it's 16 millimeters, roughly 16 millimeters, you're talking about, let me see, 16 millimeters is just under 3/4 of an inch. So these are smaller, thinner pieces. I don't want to have a sandwich mold that's so big it sticks out like this in the back of him. These are going to be about that much, about 1.5 inches. If we're lucky. We're aiming for that 1.5 inches. Which will be balanced out by the fact that he's going to have a big old tummy. Okay, let's see where we at. I want to do teeth on this. You know, maybe. Yeah, let's leave these out. But instead, we're gonna do. No, I think I have to sink them in. Yeah, you know what? Make that. Was this an inch? I mean, I keep saying an inch. Was this just 1 millimeter? It's 2. So we're gonna sink this down by 2 as well. 2 there. 2 there. Now this needs to go in. So we're gonna sink this down by. Ooh, I can't because of the freaking. Alright, stand by. Because of that, which is very weird. Actually, now that I've shrunken it part way, can I keep going? Oh, now I can keep going. Okay. By 1. By 1. When you see blue like that, once again, it means it is reading the face odd. It thinks it's the inside of the model. Now, what do we want to do here? I want to put teeth on this. Just for like, as a fun design. Like big old sharp teeth on this. Oh, rotate the wrong way. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There we go. 24. So let's say every. Let's really think about it. Because when you have, I always have a ruler with me to actually visually see in real life just how big that's gonna be. That's 10. That's 20. So. That's 24. Every 5. 5. Boom. That's 1. 5. Boom. That's another. I'm just using the. That's 4. Okay. I'm using the measuring tape to get exactly what I'm looking for here. So that would be half of 5, 2.5, blip. Now 5, enter, 5, enter, 5, enter, 5, enter. Now that I've done all the anchor points, I could just connect them like this. I'll show you right now. So guide point, guide point, guide point, up, guide point. It might be a little hard to see on your computer, but there are little black dots, and those are all my guide points. I'm just going to copy and paste these exact lines on the opposite side. Copy. I didn't mean to catch that too. How did I catch that? That was weird. Anyway, I'll fix that. Delete that. I'm gonna move you to right. There you go. Now I don't want to keep making this thinner and thinner. That's 10 millimeters. Very tiny. Not the end of the world, but very tiny. So how do we make it more pronounced without shrinking them downward? I guess. You know what? We'll bring them up. Oops. I forgot. I forgot I can only raise one at a time. Yeah. And then we'll do some kind of pattern on the upper part of the wrench. Because remember, these lines are just guidelines. They don't actually show up anywhere. So when you go to actually like print it out. So I say, here we go. There you go. I have to actually go past it to catch that, keep on the green. So I'm basically just like, I'm keeping it simple. I'm sinking and I'm raising certain points. That way when it makes a mold, you can see the definitions, the definition in the actual sculpture. You can see where certain things start and end. Let's do 1.5, a little smaller. Oh, that's the wrong tool. I'll also do the same on the opposite side. Wrong tool. Keep forgetting to switch away from the measurement tool and back to the actual line tool. Space wrench. I'm not doing really details on this side because the sandwich mold is going to be like that. So any details on the side might get lost because it just can't capture it. Speaking of details, I want to do a little indent. The handle looks bland to me. Is that right? Let me check that. Yeah, okay. So that would be, what are you? 22. Let's do 22 by 3. Yeah. Either side. 22 by 3. Excuse me, my goodness. That is good. Just copying the entire circle onto the opposite side. Six millimeters. There we go. the pattern is, we're basically making a perfect mirror. That's what I'm trying to do. Just make it perfectly mirrored. Nope. I was trying to round out stuff, but it just didn't work. It's a lot easier for these molds to work if the edges are rounded, but not everything's rounded. Like the handle's rounded. That works. I could do that with this. Yeah. If certain edges are rounded, it just works better for the final product. Will this work? Yeah, baby. I don't know why sometimes it'll do the thing where like it'll hit the end of the edge and then delete itself because it knows that's what it needs to do. Other times it doesn't want to do that. I'm going to do something cool. So I selected this plane inside the sunken area, right? I'm going to hit S. Oh, that's a problem. That's the problem. We'll go back to that. I was going to shrink that area. And when you shrink it, the walls taper towards it. But it's a bit hard to grab the measurement corners because it's inside of something. You know what? I'll demonstrate with this. Let me get rid of this. Now, work from the bottom. There we go, work from the bottom. Now you can see the anchor points, right? Yes. Okay. Let me rotate again so you can see it better, because I need to see it better too. Uniform scale from the opposite side. No, I want a uniform scale from the center. And I'm just going to shrink it in uniformly. If I do 80%, I hit 8, not 80. 80 would be 0.8. There we go. That just looks nice. So now, once again, because it's going to be a sandwich mold with a soft material, you have to pull, you know, you're making Play-Doh, so you got to pull it out of the mold. Having tapered edges prevents it from getting caught and, like, distorting what you're trying to pull out. Ideally. .8, same for you. Make sure it's hollow all the way through. That's good. Someone's trying to call me. Sorry about that. Now the teeth, if I could taper the teeth as well, that would be so nice. Is that possible? I mean, not entirely. Not entirely. We'll go back to the teeth. Aw. Got a text in the family just saying good night. You gotta text them back, you know. This reminds me, I got so many alarms set up. When I went to do the convention this week, that I have like, because you know, you set your alarm to wake up, set your alarm to sleep. When you're an old man, you gotta set 2 alarms, 3 alarms, and then when something changes, such as getting up early for a particular convention, you have to reset your resets. There we go. Alright. Hey, let's do some tapering. The teeth, we'll go back to the teeth. I want to do some tapering to all the edges here. Once again, I want to keep it uniform, which is why I'm doing all the measurements on both sides, rather than work completely on one side and then go back to the other. Okay? Do the measurements, boom and boom. So I'm basically moving in 2 millimeters from either corner. It's very small and minute, but in the final product, it will help the print. It's like super minute doing it that way. Oh, I let go. That's interesting. So it erased that, but I need to continue on this. It created a new angle. If that makes sense. And I'll match that to that. Same here. It didn't delete that. Don't know why. Once again, I don't know why it does it on some spots and not others. There we go. And let's do the opposite side. The tools are so much easier than compared to me trying to figure out the alien designs. Like the alien designs were a pain, because I want to go semi-organic as much as possible in a program that doesn't allow it, and then also take that organic shape and make it as mirrored as possible. Such a pain. This, barely an inconvenience, as they say. Yeah, so that's all curved on the sides. Tapered there. I mean, these little indents aren't really tapered, but not the end of the world. I'm not even sure how. I mean, I have an idea of how you could taper these curved pieces, the actual front. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. Yeah, these indents, I mind you, are only like 1.5 millimeters. They're like minute. Like barely even there, kind of minute. But ideally, they'll still show up in the final like print, the final details. Am I worried the Play-Doh might get stuck in between the teeth details? Perhaps, yes. So let's see what happened here. No, ooh, no. I do 0.5. What's it look like? Point 0.5 is 50. I could have done. Should have done maybe a bit less. It does curve it. You see how it kind of curves it, but it also it's pulling. So it curves one tooth, but then it makes an overhang. This gray area here is an overhang for the other one. You see how it goes over it? And we do not want overhangs. So I think we might need to leave this as is. And then we'll see how that 3D print comes out. There's not much other details I can really pump into this, given the scale. Because it's going to be tiny like that. That's what you're going to get. But I think it works. The handle needs to be chunky because it's Play-Doh. So if it's too thin, it'll fall, just like flop. I'm making the handle chunky, which means when I sculpt this guy, it's going to have a big old hand grip like this. But I think that's good. Excuse me. So I'm going to file save for this guy. Right? I'm going to do... Let me see. Let me switch over. So... this rectangle is what I want to aim for in scale. This right now is the wrench we just did. I've already done a kind of battery pack that's going to be about yay big. And I want to do a kind of space gun of some type that'll really just take up the extra space. I'm kind of in between like trying to go too big, but also trying to create something that actually fills up the space and looks kind of cool. So I think the space gun is going to be a good way to just go nuts and like really create a large shape. So what we're going to do, let me see, using my ruler again. If we made something right now that's just underneath 65 millimeters in terms of end of the handle to the top of the head, yeah. So I'm going to make the laser gun the same height, but we're going to have enough room to push it out in either direction. Yeah. So we could give it a little butt end and a large front end and give it like a pseudo sci-fi, 1950s kind of laser gun looking thing. That's the idea. Close that. Where were we? Yes. So we're going to do File, Save As. We're going to try out... Ooh, why is my cap lock on? We're going to do gun. Save. Alright. So now we could fiddle, we could take this apart if we wanted to. Once again, take my ruler, just estimating where's the midpoint, how much what's it called? Like on the back of a revolver, there's a hammer. How far out can I make the hammer versus how far out I should make the rest of the gun? If I do it roughly there, it's a 10 millimeters one way, 40 the other way. We're gonna keep it. It's a 60 by 60 box, more or less. All right. I think we'll keep the bottom on this. Yeah, let's keep the bottom. We'll just get rid of everything else. There we go. Oh, that also exposed something that I have to get to later on, which is that internal wall I just erased. So even though we finished it, you know what? You know what? Give me a second. If I say I finished it, I want to mean that. If I delete that line, is it going to screw up everything? Yes, it is. Alright. I want to make sure that the bane of my existence, which is making a solid shape, isn't going to haunt me for my rest of my life. Make group. Alright. Tools. Solid Inspector. What's going on, Solid Inspector? Fix. What am I looking at here? Exploding. Oh, wait a minute. Tell me, Solid Inspector, what is wrong? What are you looking at? I mean, obviously there's a big hole in it right now, so if I make this a group, I know what's going to happen. And when I swear I'm not going to spend like another 2 hours trying to figure this one out. Okay. Show me your secrets. Can't really tell what line it's looking at. It's highlighting these two and the other two. So it's the same spot on both sides. I just don't know why it's doing that. Oh. Get us inside here. Get us inside there. What's going on? Boom. Show me your secrets. Oh, there it is. It's... Why are you extending beyond the model? It is so odd. Oh, wait a minute. There are a few things I know are not right here. For example, nope. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, they're snapping to areas they shouldn't snap to. Like, look at that. Why is that happening? I just did a straight line. Oh, because I'm an idiot and I'm doing it backwards. I'm an idiot. Am I? I don't know. I don't know, folks. Let's seal that up again. Not too sure what I'm looking at. It's still telling me something's off. The first solid inspector says, no, you're cool. The second one is like, no, you're not. There's a red one. I want to find that red one. What's that red one? The red one's usually obvious. Like I said, I'm not going to spend all day on this. This one definitely gives me Tron vibes. More the recent Tron, which apparently they are finally making a sequel to. It took forever to make a sequel to it. This was the third Tron. It's the third Tron. It's the third Tron. I liked the second Tron. It had many issues though, many problems, but I liked it. It was fun. What are you showing me? What is this? What is this line here? Hello? What was that? That is interesting. Huh. It is weird that it separates it like that. Because it should just be one continuous line. Like that. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta delete it. Sometimes you just gotta delete a bitch. Let's see if it still catches it. It's a weird oddity. Oh, now it's giving me something different. You correct one thing, fix. I did an auto fix. So it found one thing, I did an auto fix. Now it's like, nope, that is wrong. Now it gives me 3 other things. Well, you know what? As I said, we're not going to focus on that. I know it's there. We'll return to it, and I could sit here all day deleting and replacing, and not understanding why it's doing it. Or we can make a gun. Let us make a gun. Let's go do a little Google search. And we're gonna check out. Let's do 50s sci-fi. Probably be more like 60s sci-fi. Yes, sci-fi ray guns. Yeah, they all kind of like that rounded, almost like bowling ball pin kind of shape. Futurama, I think Futurama. All right. Let's start with a basic measurement. Let's go 60. That's our top off point. So what if I'm gonna give myself a box. Interesting that it just erased all of that. It's so weird. What is going on? What's going on? I love how like you're doing every mathematical equation correctly and it's still like, no, this box don't count. This line doesn't count. This line is weird. It's being funny, so we will be funny with it. Let me see, let's go to, it's almost 20, so let's go to 15. There we go. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I am having a ball. Don't stop me now. 14.5. That is not right. This is 15, right? 14.5. Stupid. 7.5. There we go. There's our midpoint. And this to this is 16, and that would be 8. There's our midpoint. Now I do want to do, like I said, one of those cool sci-fi rounded shapes. Just gotta figure out the best way to do that kind of bowling pin shape. I know what it is. I just hate having to do it. File save for now. First we gotta rotate in a fashion it doesn't want to rotate with. Come on. Come on. Come on, rotate. Right about there we go. I'm just going to make this a group. That way nothing sticks to it just for now. So, we're going to do a shape. Come on, get me on the green line. There we go. Let's put it at 30. There we go. So we're going to do like a bowling pin shape. I'm going to use the follow me tool to hopefully round it out. Now ideally you want it to be wide, but we can't really go wider than, and all these sci-fi stuff, the fatness of the top part is usually what makes it look cool compared to a skinny handle. Can't really do that much with this. Well, we'll figure something out. We'll make a midway point. What the heck? Something is open. Sorry. Something got pinned to my freaking bottom thing and it just... I don't need you. I don't need you. Okay, let's start with... There we go. How do we want to arc this out? That's the real question. Right about there. Let's go out to about here. Yeah. And then we're going to use 3 point. 1, 2, 3. If I turn it, how's it look? Come on, turn. Hey, look at that. God, I'm trying to turn it in the way I want. It doesn't want to turn. All right. Okay. Now we're going to have to explode this to make it make sense. So, bam. I always forget which one I click first. Nope, I click this. No. There we go. I click the circle. And then I click what I want to follow. Is that correct? Always get it mixed up, guys. Yes! We actually did it right for once. Looks good. It's a bit wider than I want it to be. But it still looks nice. It is a bit wider than I was hoping for it to be. Shoot. It's not horrible, but it does throw off the math on some stuff here. Actually needs to be thin. Kind of sucks. I like the way it looks, but it's not. A bowling pin is too fat. Good. I was able to flatten it. But keep the outward looking good. All right. And it somehow didn't... Did it fudge up the rest of it? It didn't really warp the rest of the sculpture as much as I thought it would. Huh. I am genuinely shocked by that. Let me try one thing before I do anything else. Let me delete this real quick and get up in here. Okay, I need to connect those two parts. So let's say right about there and there. That's annoying. Why are you being a jerk? No. We'll have to get in there, like in there, figure zooming in, people, we're zooming in. At some point it doesn't want to zoom, there we go. Does that do it? I have no idea. I'm blindly connecting pieces. No, it does not, because I zoomed in and ended up somewhere else altogether. There we go. Now we're in it from back side. And this is what I'm trying to fix. Nope, wrong tool. Alright, you guys can't tell at all what I'm doing. Heck, I could barely tell what I'm doing at the moment. Oh, no. I was there. I was right there. Just get me back in there. Come on, get back in there. Get back in there. Piece of garbage. Boom. Right there. This to that. I think that's what I'm looking for. Let me just get out. Yeah, look at that. All of that for nothing. Because when I reshaped it, it definitely pulled something just a pinch out of alignment, so it's throwing everything else out of whack. See what we're gonna do? We're gonna backtrack, people. Boom. And the first thing I'm gonna do is this. And I need to figure out why nothing wants to seal up. Yeah, so something's going on here. There we go. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is grab this and this, and we're gonna do it separately. Separately compared to all of this. And then we're gonna attach it. That way nothing gets warped around in a weird way. Sometimes it's gotta separate them all. Forgot to put the point. It is 0.85 on the blue axis. Then we're going to make this a group. There we go. Now let's see, right about on the end point. Still a bit wide. It's exploded again. Stop it, stop it, just stop it. Just make it explode. Thank you very much. Too many tools going on. Let's bring it down. Let's say 0.9 now. Make group. We're going to try again. So I'm sizing it and then I'm attaching it and seeing how it looks. That's not. That wasn't right at all. That wasn't right at all. There we go. Endpoint. Come on, give me that endpoint. Endpoint. There we go. I want to say that's good enough. That's close enough. Nice. Yeah. If I come over here. It is dipping in, of course. What I'm going to do is... No, I'm not going to seal it yet. I'm not going to seal it. I'm going to pull this up a little bit. On an even scale, let's say... That I like. I could put some doodads right here where the cursor's at. To better integrate it. And it's not too tall. It's just about right. I could probably do some other little fun stuff. Yeah. Ready? Explode. Nice. Reverse face. going to merge it all together. Come on. Intersect with model. So it should all be intersected right now, which means if I select... Nope. It should be, but it's not. Some weird shenanigans are happening. Let's see, what can I erase? Okay, let me zoom out, make sure that what I just did didn't like destroy everything around me. No, everything seems okay. Zooming out. Zooming out to the music. Still zooming out. Jeez. No, those are still connected. Don't know why. There we go. You know, you'd think it would merge it perfectly, but it never does. Who that? Once again, we're not going to get hung up on perfect interior model at the moment. We want to get as close as we can to the shape we want. So whatever's going on there, yeah, whatever is going on up in there, right now ain't my business. We will return to that. In fact, if I was just to do this, make a group, right? So it can't automatically fix it. We'll know that. We know that. We'll return to that at a later date. Right now, let's focus on some fun shapes. Now, what we need is a fin. This needs a fin. So we know we got a space of 10 behind us, right? So let's just Just trying to get a few markers down. There we get a nice 3-point arch. Oh, it's way too even. That's the problem. There we go. It wasn't an arch, it was a freaking straight line. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. That should do it, yeah. So I'm gonna do, it's gonna cheat. It's gonna make a shape out of this. Oh, that's why I forgot to explode this. So I'm taking these shapes and we're gonna do what we did with the bug sculptures. We're gonna making shapes and combine them. I'm trying not to do that as much because when they intersect, then things get weird. But hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Tapering this inward for the heck of it. Just see how it looks. Nope, I need it on the blue axis, come on. Blue axis, but only 2. There we go. There we go, on the guide point. That does look nice. sinking ending. Hmm. Okay, let's go back for a minute. All this because this. If this thing wasn't round like an egg, if I just kept it flat and shaped it, curved on top, wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be a freaking problem. But it wants to be a problem. You know what? Leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah. On the green. 60. There we go. That's how far we're gonna be reaching out. I'm gonna make it more precise. On the green. I don't know how far that is. I'm an idiot. This is a curved surface? No, it's not. That is not a curved surface. Don't give me that nonsense. It is a perfect freaking pillar. That is bull. Prove it. How is that curved? How is that freaking curved? That is such a pain in the ass, man. Oh, people. I should have just freaking kept it completely flat. I should have just kept it flat. I'm gonna do though. We'll make a new one. Whoopsie. Fine. Thanks, man. Now we're hitting the weird spot because this part is curved. It's throwing off all the math. Everything's going weird now. So now I'm in the part where I'm just slamming shapes together and trying to blend them together. All because I decided to keep this freaking thing curved the way it is. It is quite annoying. I mean, the shape itself is looking pretty nice right now. I'm just gonna have to do a lot of finagling to get things the way I want it to be. I'm just dropping in shapes now to fill in the gaps. Let's copy paste that. There we go. Come on. Latch on, jerk. There we go. Yep, we're just kind of filling the gaps right now. There we go. Just filling in gaps with shapes. No, on the blue, thank you. In hopes that if I do a merger, it will all just come together. So let's try that. Let's merge and let's see where we go. Worst comes to worst, guys. You know, we'll figure it out. Now, let's see how bad it looks. Make group. Stray edges. Okay, we fixed the stray edges. Oh, look at that. Look at that mess. Look at all that internal nonsense. Explode. Let me turn that off. Nope, don't want to delete that because that's, as they say, something's wrong there. But this... No, wait. This is a safer bet. This right here is a safer bet. We're going to remove that from it. Ooh, look at that. Look at all that internal nonsense that shouldn't be there. If I click this, it highlights the entire... See? Merging does nothing. It does not create clean lines the way you want them to. But it can. For a little bit of effort. Well, that's not being selected anymore. Hey, at least we got something out of it. Right? You're not going to create a giant hole somewhere I don't see? Okay. Good. Nice. Something got deleted. Ah! Right there. Something got deleted. I knew it. Yep. The whole idea of it merging two shapes together and perfectly aligning them, complete bull. No matter how many times I've tried it and how many different ways, absolute nonsense. It just can't do it. It just cannot merge like curved shapes together without it just going completely off the deep end. It's gonna be one of another nightmare-inducing project for something so simple as a space gun. And then mind you, once again, if we were to 3D print this, it would probably be fine. The 3D printer doesn't care about the in-between stuff. But the issue is making a reverse mold of this. You need it to be a perfect solid to do that, and the machine has trouble reading it that way. My top. Yeah. I'm not too bad though. You know, we'll figure it all out. We'll figure it all out. See, I have all these little bits and bobs here and there. See, I've always like little intersecting parts here that don't like each other. We'll figure it out. And if worse comes to worse, we'll more or less start from a semi-scratch. I like the way the handle is. We'll just get rid of this curved piece here, and just do the whole thing in angles, just hard angles. Whoa, nope. The hell are you doing, man? I hear flickering, and I don't know if that's the music itself or something else. Oh, that's way too small. Let's make it 3 by 3. Pull it out by 5. Make a group. I'm going to rotate this for now. Bring it over here. What are you doing? Why are you giving me like a weird rotation tool? Whatever, I'll figure it out. Yeah, that's centered enough. There we go. Large handled sci-fi gun. Gonna do it in another intersection. Alright, let's group it, and I want to see what it shows me. And all these wiggly wobblies. Cannot auto fix anything apparently. Lovely. Before we do anything else, we're gonna save this. So this is the part now where I would spend another hour and a half, 2 hours finding every little minute detail that's wrong with it and trying to get it to make a solid shape. So we're gonna save it first. Let's get up in here. So what exactly is wrong here? Huh? So apparently that works. I can delete that, nothing happens. Bam. 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 What we got here? Bam. When in doubt, just freaking delete it half the time. Whoop, I think I hit the wrong thing. That's okay. Look at that. That whole thing lights up. Oh, there we go. That whole thing lights up. Small corrections. But let's focus. We're focusing on the nozzle. Let's focus on the nozzle again. So I could jump to every other part that lights up and be like, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. What is that? What am I circling here? Yep, just another internal ring that wasn't needed. Look at that. Let's do a test. Now that we just did a little cleanup there, that seems to make sense. Will I still have a bunch of nonsense waiting for me at that spot? Tools. Not there. On the opposite side? Oh, right there. What's the issue, baby girl? Why are you acting like a jerk? I don't know. But yeah, but that's our mission now. To nitpick everything. But at least we know. Some of it is working. Hit file save, baby. Might just fiddle with this for a little bit and then hit the bed. Oh, you got a floater. I see you. There you go. Now, Let's see if we let's see if we can replicate what we did here, but up here. Ah, I think I see it. If I go outside, yep, there we go. Delete. If I click that and go outside, what do I get? Nothing. Right? Nothing's infected. I'm going to delete that too. If I click that and I go outside, nothing. I'm going to delete that. We're going to delete that too. Delete that too. And there should be another one right up right there. Anything? Nothing got even removed. Good. It's a matter of just constantly double checking what is and isn't being removed. Like I click this and the whole barrel lights up. Don't know why though. I do know there's a lot of stuff going on in there. What else can we fiddle with? If I click that line though, did I lose any part of the out? It's called the blade. The blade is intact. That didn't work though. So that side, something's wrong. If I select you and go outside, something's not sealed off out here. Oh, I found a few spots. It could be this. Still showing issues. Let me see, what else? Could be that. Yeah. There we go. Hey, making progress. I mean, we are removing a lot of the internal messes, and we're doing that by correcting gaps in the lines. Doesn't guarantee we're gonna get everything that needs to be fixed though. But it's the only real way to go about it, to start off going about it. Oh, I see something kind of went funny. You seem okay, you seem okay. Something did look weird though. Alright, we're looking good so far. So make it a nice big old. This is the inside of the fin. It's nice and clean, which is good. Come on, give us a clear image. Every time I turn it, it dips just outside of the freaking Hey! Look at that. I got rid of stuff we don't need, which is good. Just making sure. Nope, nope. That's not needed, and that's not needed. Okay. So we're working on the opposite end of these barrels. And get rid of the stuff we don't need for sure. We don't need any of this. Ooh, nope. If I get rid of the ring though. Okay, let's check on the outside. Yep, the barrels are still there. So deleting stuff from one side, look at that. Deleting that and help us get rid of it. If I select this ring though. Okay, so we're gonna, yeah. If I delete it from this side, nothing happened. Well, something did happen, it would erase everything. Isn't it wild how doing it from the opposite side, it's like a matter of procedure, if that makes sense. This before that. Okay. We'll keep that for now. We don't want to accidentally click that. If I click this one, same thing. Don't want to click that just yet. If I click that, that's internal. It doesn't matter. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. And look how open the inside of it is now. Now this doesn't mean there aren't still, like I said, a bunch of like lines that the program doesn't like or whatever, but we are removing tons of internal data, if that makes sense, if that's the right word for it, that just doesn't make sense with the model. Speaking of which, why are you here? What is the point of this right here? Get rid of that. We got a little... Look at that, look at that. Look at this mess, this jumbled mess right here of information. We'll have to address that later. Yeah, that's a bit much for me to go into right now. But... we're going to seal it up again. We're going to hit save. God forbid if we don't. Now we're going to make a group and we're going to once again use the solid inspector and see what it tells us. First we'll use solid inspector number 2, which says it fixes stray edges. Now the main thing is still those tubes. We just use the basic solid inspector. Everything's more like pinpointed. We can see just about. Yeah, in fact it's the spot I was looking at, that weird jumbled spot. Like the crotch, if you would, where the circle meets inside. Also a few other guys around here. A few randos I need to check out. Yeah, this whole little area right here. think I found the issue. Okay. Now if I select you, are you still... Oh, it's only the front now. Okay. That is so weird. But in an interesting way, though. If I select you, now it's that. Where is this going? No. No, no. Oh, it like backtracked it. That is so weird. It like corrected it and then it uncorrected it. Oh, there's a lot of intersecting parts here that don't seem to be liking each other at the moment. Nope. Oh, I see. What's going on over here, huh? Huh? Right here. What's going on over here? Still connecting it. Come on, where are you? Where? I'm right now just following the wall. Whoop. Trying to find... Trying to find where the seam is at. Where is that missing line that's preventing this from being separate from the outside? This upbeat music is like the only thing really keeping me going at the moment. Oh, I think that's where it's at. There you go. I have to get away from that a little bit. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna try something stupid. Oh, wait a minute. It's not showing me a line there, but try one thing. That gets rid of that. There we go. So yeah, at least we know now where the outlier is. It's right here. Whatever the issue is here. Check that. There you are. There we go. I just had to give it that internal lining. Sometimes it's not a matter of fixing it. Sometimes you just gotta get rid of it. Oh, speaking of which, I'm just trying to rotate and it won't let me. There we go. That's still your issue. Okay. Nope, I got rid of too much there. Oh, come on. You rotate too much and it kicks you out and kicks you outside the model. You are inside the model and I'm facing the handle. That's the wrong way. Need to back it up a little bit. Bring it over here and rotate. There we go. Nope. I don't want. Where am I? Where am I? Come on. I either fixed it or I deleted something. Okay, that last one was definitely a delete. Close but no cigar, as they say. What is missing from here? Hmm? Is it this? That starting to work. Okay, so that's no. And that is also a yes. Bring it back out. Okay, so this little sliver is still connected. Don't know why. If I delete that, it deletes only part of it. Boom! There we go. There are your connecting points. Sometimes you just gotta delete a bitch. Bam! Oh, and where are your connecting points? It looks like would this work? It will. There you go, folks. We have done well. This right here is a big issue, so we're gonna seal it up again. I mean, the gun's pretty much done design-wise. It's simple as that. Make group. Tools. Now it's giving us a bunch of little no-nos and yes and no-nos. All these little line details that... Anyway. Okay, so all on the tubes, it's still giving me an issue, even though the internal lines should be gone. I wish the solid inspector stayed intact when I rotated it. I could zoom in and out. Just can't do a lot of other stuff though. But I think we're good. I mean, good enough. Me nitpicking every single little detail, not really fun. At least not for stream. I kind of want to change the... Let me explode this again. Explode. I kind of want to change this area. Because it's obviously just a wrench. So part of me thinking, let's bring this back up, give ourselves a bit more room to work. I mean, technically it should just be flipped. Right? We should do an arch. should be something like this. That makes more sense. Gives it like a gun shape, duh. Also, just for the heck of it. Yeah, that makes more sense. The handle's still massive because it's, you know, some big old chunky hands. Where's my sketch paper? Oh, that's why I had fall earlier. I didn't fall earlier. I guess once I bring everything into... Give me a second. Bring that down a pinch. There we go. I guess once I put everything into one screen, all the different objects, I can then decide to adjust the scale of the objects. Not so much their height, not so much their thickness, if that makes sense. Like this, straightforward, we're keeping that. But in terms of like length and width, we can adjust that to make it a bit more interesting. But I think we got it. I think we got the I think we got the laser gun. I do need to check. That read well, this freaking opening right here, will this still work? Like the mold shouldn't get caught anywhere in there, right? That's my only real issue. That is like a spot where the Play-Doh would get caught. It shouldn't. It just looks like it might. But then again, that's what 3D printing's for. You test print. Test print, test print, test print. Oh wait, explode. Let me give it a this first. I want to see what we're looking at. Make a group. While I have it. Yeah, it's all of that. Yeah, it's all of this nonsense. Okay, click away. Click. Thank you. And I think we can just get rid of this stuff right here. We could get rid of all of this. Wait. I have it highlighted. And none of it's showing, so bam, be gone. Yeah, none of it's showing from the outside. Just delete it. Just get rid of it. Right? Are we right? Are we... Nothing's being removed. Yeah. Get rid of it, man. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back. No more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Double checking. feels so good to just be like, delete, 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 get rid of you, get rid of you, don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. Cause nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. Look at that. No, none of this is needed. Not a single bit of this is needed. Be gone, be gone. Nope, nope. That was a mistake. Got a little overzealous right there. Dip, dip, dip. Once again, roll outside. Go outside and touch digital grass. Okay, I need to rotate a little bit because I think I am getting a little overzealous. Just need to make sure. Slow rotation to see from the opposite side. The inside looking out. Forgive me if I'm just making funny noises. This is me being happy, knowing that I don't have to cater to fixing every last one of these damn things. I'm not sure if that's the back of something though. Oh yeah. Oh yes indeed. What are you? That is not needed. Not sure. What are you guys? You're the inside of the back. Nope. Inside of the back of the two. Yeah. Oh my god, guys, look at that. Now I'm sure there's still a bunch of little line issues with the freaking curvature of the egg and all that. But in terms of clearing out the clutter, hey, I see you. I see you. What are you? Oh no, you're good. Never mind. In terms of clearing out the clutter, knowing that all of that could just go, so much better. Foul and save. Make group. I'm not gonna hit the reverse face because sometimes that doesn't. Sometimes that backtracks everything. Oh my god, is that it? Is that what it is? What are you? What am I looking at? What am I looking at? Just you. No, no, stop it. Is it just you? Did doing all that deletion just fix everything? Ooh, ooh, you're something. Ooh, ooh. I thought so. Explode, please. Can't just be you. It can't be that easy. Line tool. Edge to edge. Can't be that easy. Make a group. Okay, there's still something going on. Oh. Good. Undo. Don't start backtracking now, because that was the only thing I had there. Why should give me like 4 more things? It says reverse edge. I'm not going to mess with that reverse edge. Huh. Is it on this side? There you are. What's wrong? Huh? What's wrong, buddy? Nope, that's the wrong tool. Something's going on there. And I'm gonna pick at it too much. I don't want to pick at it too much until I know for sure. Make group. Tools. I hit fix reversed edges. That's probably gonna screw me over. Isn't. Is it just that? Come on, show me what it is. Is it just that? Come on, baby. I keep clicking the wrong one. Oh, it's just you on this side. See? It reversed the face it shouldn't have. Which then, so it corrects it, then making thus more problems. So what is your problem, buddy? What is your problem? Explode. Explode. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Kick away. Oh. Is that it? Oh, it's an extra face. Extra faces act funny. It's like a face overlapping itself. Make a group. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. What we got? What we got? Okay, so doing that, oh, that was that. So, okay, we gotta find a way to connect these guys. Just have to make a bridge. Still something there. Don't know what it is though. Gotta zoom, zoom, zoom. Huh. So what's your deal, dude? I can see it's there. Don't know what the issue is though. It's a solid. I just have to reset it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We completed the wrench. Even though it's not a solid, we did complete the wrench. But the laser gun, lasers. That is done. File and save, baby. Almost 11 o'clock. Let me hit save again. File. Open. Check out the wrench again. It is a group for some reason. Oh yeah, the wrench. There's issues by the teeth, wasn't it? Yes, by the teeth. And something. Wrong button. Something's red. Oh, there you are. Explode. Show me. Why being a jerk, man? Yeah, it's those individual lines. Not sure what's the issue with that. Not sure what it has an issue with. So I'm just deleting and then redrawing it to see if that's all it needs. It's a bit of a reset. No, it's not working. Now this side has red on it. But it's the same 3 teeth. It's the same issue on either side. Just don't know what it is. Once again, just doing some testing right now. See how it keeps changing? I correct one, it goes to the other. Now, why is it doing that? I don't know. But while I have you here, let's file and save that for now. Battery. Also did a basic battery. Make group. It's like a little battery pack. So these battery packs are going to just be little bricks that you can attach on different parts of the astronaut and even attach to the bugs to give them like extra boost. And it is a solid group, thank God. It is. This was a much more simpler one. You can't really see it that well, but the inside of the lightning bolt, the sunken in part is also tapered, so the walls are coming inward. So I'm really happy with that. And yeah, it is 10:50. Let's turn down that music. Boom. There we go. Let's see how much of that gets flagged. But those are the three objects. We have a battery pack that you can place on different spots on the astronaut and attach to the back of the bugs. We have a laser gun or welding torch, whatever you want to, whatever sci-fi PC stuff is good. You can't really sell guns, kids, or words that have guns in them. You know what I mean? Titles that have guns. Batman doesn't use guns. So we have our laser gun, we have our wrench, and we have our battery pack. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to line these up into a box, a rectangular box. I'm going to line up the original molds with I got to do some edits to the molds. There's one or two things I got to edit in the molds. I'm going to line them all up equally, make them a sandwich mold equally, and then I'll do another batch of printing, which is going to take a while. But once I get that printing done, I can then sculpt around them and get the shape. So this guy's going to be reproduced once he's finished. Once I have the actual body laid out and the arms laid out, I'm going to be making reproductions of this with silicone and forms of resin, epoxy resin. It's a resin I found thanks to the Craftman, Easy Crafting on YouTube. The Craftman, he brings up certain resins that it's a two-part resin that has a very similar strength and like softness to vinyl. Cause vinyl you have to cook. You have to cook vinyl, and I don't want to start cooking stuff in my house. It's gonna smell, cause a fire. But he found a resin that's really close to vinyl, which I'm gonna use hopefully to make the first prototype of these. And then combine the soft vinyl with the 3D prints, and that will be our working prototype for this really large astronaut toy. Like I said, he's coming out bigger than I expected. It's gonna be a big figurine. That'll probably be packaged with some off-brand Play-Doh. But yeah, I want to make this toy. I don't know what the next step from there is. Aside, I know that I could do the copyrights. Copyrights are easy. Patents are different. Patents require a bit more, from what I understand, in terms of what you send in, and they require a lot more money. But at least with a copyright, I could copyright all the designs. I could copyright the entire design. So that's the idea. And I want to say that is it. Thank you, Clitorius Rex, for jumping in. Please, guys, check out Clitorius Rex's Instagram. Really good artwork. Really good artwork. Convince him. Yell at him to do more live streams. Just yell at him. Just yell at him like he owes you money. Let me actually, since I'm talking, I'm going to zoom in on that. That way, when YouTube takes a screenshot for thumbnails, it'll be the lightning bolt. But yeah, check out Clitorius Rex's Instagram. As mentioned, always, you can see these videos up on Twitch for about a week, and then they'll be up permanently on YouTube. If you want to see me working on the other ones, there's a video for that. If you want to get away from the mundane act of just watch me do measurements and zoom in and zoom out, check out the stream I did in which I was drawing concept artwork for him, for the actual astronaut. That looks nice. That's all on the YouTube channel. And just a reminder, I have a blue sky. Everything you see in the corner down there, from the Instagram to the YouTube to DeviantArt, it's all underneath DA Burgos Art, the Burgos Art. So check out my Instagram and check out my website, theburgosart.com. Theburgosart.com is just basic light portfolios and links to these same websites. It still needs to be beefed up to be a really good hub. I have that website in case these websites go down. At least I have a spot to put up some of my artwork, and there's a lot of it. And I want to say that is it. Once again, guys, look for me at Long Island Retro Gaming next weekend. I'll be there Saturday, and that should be it. So once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.